Oh, hi, beautiful. All right. So good evening, everyone. I'm Dawn Thompson. Welcome to the Truth Tribe. Thank you for being here. I want you guys to remember that I tell you every Monday night, you are all perfect exactly where you are in this now moment. There is nothing wrong with you, and I love you all very much. Tonight's topic, reality check resistance. I want to start with the phrase that I say to you guys every Monday night. Let's start with this phrase that I notice, and the reason I'm bringing it up is because I notice it comes up in conversation quite a bit, right? People will bring it to my attention when they say, well, you know, when you say you're perfect right now, Dawn, I mean you're perfect in omnipresence of God's source image. Okay. Yes, my intention in weekly reminding all of you being perfect is you are perfect where you are in this now moment. Why? Because it's always this now moment. Okay. So each moment that passes will be your now moment. And a lot of people don't like that. So they're like, I'm perfect. You are perfect. And you might not like what your perfect is happening right now, but it's perfectly happening because that's who you are. Your frequency is, that's what you're experiencing right now. And that's not comfortable for some people. And some people are like, but you say we're perfect and we're not perfect. We are perfect, perfectly experiencing what we need to be doing, feeling, experiencing right now. I'm not saying you have to like it. I'm not saying it's going to be fun. I'm just saying it is perfect to get you to where you want to go, because as we talked a couple weeks ago, your higher self is guiding you there. Okay. So your energy is creating your now to allow you the opportunity to redesign it. So what are you experiencing, and what you're experiencing in this now moment is perfect. And you must be awake to see that you're in charge of your now moment. Okay. It is a perfect match to your sonar energy patterns. And so we are so used to talking and discussing for so many years now, since The Secret came out, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever it was, the law of attraction, which is translated as being awake to our thoughts so we can be clear on what we want to manifest into our reality. The law of attraction, if we're energy and we're attracting ourselves and we're perfect in what we're attracting in this now moment, it is translated as to being awake to our thoughts so we can be clear on what we want to manifest into our now reality. Okay. We forget that the law of attraction is also attracting from the law of the vacuum. Okay. And the law of vacuum is also an emptiness, right? It's the emptiness, it's the wounds, it's the insecurity and the shame inside of you is also creating your reality. So the reality check that most resist is that. We don't want to deal with the discomfort we all know it will bring, right? So the typical discussion that I have with people is, I would never want to attract this crap, especially those going through like divorce or illness or something. And my answer is, if we don't look at the holes in your blueprint that need some drywall and a little mud, right? A little mud and some tape, right? To fill in the hole in that section of your house. This is your house, your physical being, your blueprint, your submarine. And if we don't fill in the holes in your blueprint of your house, you will continue to draw in cold air. You will draw in, the vacuum is pulling in cold air, cold people, cold situations, cold energy that is creating internal disappointment for what is appearing in your life. You're drawing it in, you're vacuuming it in. Okay, these are universal laws, and Dawn's version of the law of the vacuum. So here's my version, right? Is write this down because it's very basic and it's very easy. You ready? Do hard things first rule. That's my rule. It's the same as the law of the vacuum, of that universal law. Do hard things first, meaning make a list of all the things that you attract that you dislike. Do the hard thing first on the list. Okay. Do those hard things that are patching yourself with confidence. They may take you guys longer, and you may need to do it with like the beginner's mind, but do it first. Right? Because the law of the vacuum is the reality in most people's life. They want to avoid doing first, and maybe even doing it all. And then they blame others for their reality. Oh, I can't believe they came into my life. I can't believe this is happening, right? Discontent for our lives stems from the reality that you want and the reality you have. Those two are conflicting. The one you want and the one you have are conflicting. Your soul has an energy mismatch for the reality that you yearn for. And the external reality you're in, those two are in conflict. It's causing you to be unhappy and dissatisfied and sad and depressed and on and on and on. Check yourself for the reality that you want and then the reality you're accepting. Does that make sense? So that's when the shift happens, or more like when the shit happens, right? And then that's when everything changes. It's all you. It's all about you, and it's all you, and it's all perfect for you, which is why you're perfect in this now moment. It's all you needing a reality check. Like if you're experiencing a divorce, a lot of people are going through divorces right now, a health crisis, struggling children, money challenges, career plateaus, lack of love partners. Those are the biggies. There might be other things. Feel free to throw them into the chat. If there are other things, I'll bring them up, right? Write down the current law of the vacuum that's affecting you in your unwanted clogged vacuum. Like it's trying to get in and you're trying to plug it and you're not sure. Write it down. Reality check often requires a reaction check. Okay. What is your reaction to certain things? It requires you to look at the reality you're accepting, which is in conflict with your inner truth, right? So are you a negative Nelly, or are you always looking for conflict? Or are you always looking for criticism? Are you always looking for like victim or mentality or depression or sadness? Or can you look at things that aren't that pleasant, but you can still see past them and respect the understanding that it's someone's journey and get out? So this requires you to look at the reality that you're accepting, which is in conflict again with your inner truth. The external reality is showing you a weak area of your own inner soul needing super basic TLC, a whole lot of TLC, okay? And so if others are creating challenges in your life, it's simply your higher self. Remember that your higher self is always directing your ship to situations to get you to wake up. So it's simply your higher self sending you a self-check to see if you're really in love with yourself. Healthy love within and with your understanding of your soul's journey. Okay. So guys, there is no this or them, right? It's this or them or that or things or whatever. It's all you. So being critical of XYZ is part, I get it. We look outside and go, ooh, I don't want that. We don't even need to verbalize it. It's part of the journey to see what you're avoiding and looking outside of yourself to find another reason to avoid inside. It's not always gentle. I'm not, again, like I said, it's not easy. It doesn't have to be hard, but it's not easy to look at. It's asking you to tap into your blueprint of the quantum choice that you made. Check the blocks in your energy field and where you are, where you're missing the fact that you're a warrior holding power to change your reality now, right? And so it's a big deal. The reason I pester so many of you on learning your hotspots in your natal chart is because they are what's hard for you. right? Do what's hard first. Work on those 4 spots first. Again, there's a free birth chart. Just go onto events. It's there. Go onto tools. It's many spots, so you're not lost. Put in your info, print the chart, and look for the 4 hot spots. They are your boulders that are sitting on intersections of progress. We don't want to admit it. I don't like admitting mine, but they're true for me. They're causing you to learn them. They're putting pressure on you. They're in your intersection, blocking you from moving to learn so that you can be and become and feel whole and not in lack or in need of patching your empty hole. So you're feeling that vacuum energy and you're like, why am I attracting these things? Because they're little things. They're not huge, but they're still boulders and they're still blocks and they're still in your way. And all they're saying is you just need to figure out how to put energy into this spot so it removes the block. So remember, those of you who were on last week, if you didn't watch last week, go watch last week. Remember last week, we talked about making a plan, right? Making a plan to decide how you're going to move into the world, because when you have a plan, you can't get rattled so easy, right? Use your sonar, draw a map on a piece of paper to engage your life so it keeps you living as a lighthouse, right? It will keep you centered during storms of discomfort. We all go through them. I've been going through it, right? And many of you are feeling the energy shifts, and it's adding to you checking your reality like, oh my gosh, is something wrong with me? Oh my gosh, I don't want that. I thought I worked on that. And it's overwhelming, right? I've definitely been feeling the intensity of this high frequency that's pouring onto the planet. Now, again, I brought up the solar storms and the Schumann resonance. So from those solar storms, now we're talking about right now, it's been happening. The spiking and the blackouts of the Schumann resonance. Again, I'm not going to go in detail on those. You can go Google them, or you can go onto Telegram, and people share away left and right on there, on Instagram. If you DM me on Instagram, I can forward you half the people that I follow that show you the visual pictures. Anyway, I have to get it all in because I don't want to overwhelm you guys on those topics, but you can see them visually, how they're off the charts, right? Most of you are feeling the energy that's off the charts in your body. I have had, for the last several days, serious headaches, and they start at 2. Like, I'm totally fine. And then 2 o'clock hits and I'm like, whoa, oh my God. It's like almost debilitating, right? For days. And then I realized, oh, the Schumann resonance was off the chart, the solar flares. Unrelenting anxiety has been showing up, restless sleep for several days. So go ahead and comment if you guys are feeling the same thing. I can also bring there. I've noticed that other symptoms that people are having that they've been sharing with clients all week are surfacing as well. Old memories, that's quite a bit coming up just from your past, or memories that you wake up and you're like, wow, I haven't thought about that person or that thing. Again, coinciding with Mercury retrograde, bringing up the past for review. Enhanced emotions, a sense of major change is coming. You can feel it. Life-altering breakthroughs for you. Feeling that time is either going too fast or too slow. Needing to detox and clutter and clear out the old. Fatigue, overwhelm. Needing time out to rest and recharge. Let me know if any of you are figuring this one, because this is a big one for me on the sleep. Waking up between 2 and 4 a.m. right? Oh, see, someone just said the same thing. I wake up at 3. I've been waking up at 2 and I'm like, it's not even close to time to get up, but I can't. So it takes me a little while to get back to sleep. These are the spiritual hours. So they want you. They're trying to talk to you. Spirit is your guides, your angels. Okay. So restlessness, increased intuition, perception, your psychic abilities are going off the charts. Unusual occurrences within your life or communities or communications, especially from the other side. Numbers that are repeating: 1111, 222, 333, 444. Someone just said 303 and 333 a.m. Exactly. There's the repeating numbers. So also sudden news coming in. Okay. So stepping back, let the answers serve themselves up to you. Be diligent with your TLC time. I'm telling you, I've been going through it too. And I've literally had to like enforce the law. What do you have to do first, Dawn? Do the hardest thing first, which is hard for me, is to take care of myself. I mean, my mom, my husband, my kid, they'll tell you, and I want to be better. And so I've been really focused on that, taking care of me, doing for me. It's not a natural thing for me. I know it's something I have to do and I'm doing bettering, but I'm trying to explain that to you. It could be something that small of TLC. Okay. Someone just shared, I've been awake at 3 a.m., 3:03, 3:33. I've been sick to my stomach every day for a week now around 4 o'clock. It's been crazy. Detoxing my food, my schedule, my home. I've been laying in quiet, journaling my thoughts and messaging. It has been a massive shift for me. Thank you for sharing this, because this is literally like word for word all the clients I've been talking to. And I'm like, wow, me too. So those of you who've been doing the work, understanding that even difficult things showing up are for us to level up, it's the reality check. It's been a crazy ride, but it's been good because it's starting to get you into realizing you are a lighthouse in control. And you can decide to slow down TLC and shut off for a little while it passes. And it does, it always passes. That's the cool part, but we have to acknowledge it. Okay. So, I know, as crazy as that all sounds, it's happening. So those of you on the call, if you're experiencing the same thing, please share. It helps everyone to know that you're not that, you know, it's not just me, and I'm bringing it up to you. So creative juices are flowing so heavy for someone. Me too. Okay. So let's correlate all that energy coming in, right? Why we resist reality checks, because the reality of, I don't want to see that, means you've got a vacuum hole to fill. Doesn't mean you have to do a lot of work. You just got to do TLC to make sure you're okay with you, and you don't have to accept the weaknesses coming in, or the energy, or the space, or turn off your TV, or turn off your digital. Just be in the now of where you want to be. Because what's happening is a lot of people are struggling. If you can't be present, you got stuff to heal. If you're looking for somewhere else to be, do, think, fix, you're missing what this is. That's why it's pounding on us to reset and review. So I'm going to get into real quick the planetary update, because there's still a huge party happening in the sky. And I know you're all feeling it. So the eclipse was last week. I shared that all with you, and it was in this. So remember, the eclipse was opposite Libra. It was a solar eclipse. So here's the moon. It came over here, and it was opposite Libra, the constellation of Libra. Aries was the full, or the new moon in Aries. Okay. So it's this line here that was connected to these two planets and signs. And it was in the last degree of Aries, which is 29 degrees, right? Because that's the last degree, 30 degrees of every constellation, 30 degrees in a month. Okay. So when anything is at the last degree of the sign of the constellation, and it passes all the way through to the end, it points to like a frenzied energy in that area of your life. Like, well, I got to get this done. So if you know your chart, check your chart. And if you want to know what area you're feeling that new moon, solar eclipse, opposite Libra the most. Its effects are going to be felt for up to 6 months after the actual date of the eclipse. Okay. And so Aries is related to personal. Hello, beautiful back. Courage, independence, self-assertion in strong focus, right? Self. That's why I cannot be more clear about this. It's about new beginnings regarding any one of these issues. So there's long-term changes that are in the works that are coming for all of you. And anything that's uncomfortable, any reality that we don't want, we've got to self-check and go, check, let it go. Okay. So this is a cool little historic piece for you all that like history. I think I saw Pat on here who loves history. If you look into history, the similar solar eclipse at approximately at the same 29 degrees, probably 28, I'm not going to go into the specifics on those. of Aries that occurred on April 19th happened in 2004. And before that, it happened in 1997 on April 18th. And then an eclipse that set along the same Aries Libra axis, it most recently occurred in 2013 through 16. They were in and out. Okay, so these are 3 points in history, if you go back far enough, when it happened again. What was the theme in 2004, in 1997, and then back in, 1997, 2004, 2013 through 16? What were the themes happening back in those eclipse times in your life? Because the eclipse can illuminate and challenge us in areas of independence and personal courage. It will encourage us to take steps towards self-mastery and self-empowerment by tackling things that are tripping us up. So why did I bring up this reality check? Because it's going to trip you up. It's tripping me up. And I'm straight up, do not ask my husband. I do not like it, but I'm talking through it. I'm acknowledging it. Like Jamie, I'm journaling, I'm writing it. I'm doing the chakra river every single day. If you don't know the chakra river, go into your dashboard and just play the video. You can figure out how to clear it that way. Situations are going to nudge us and encourage us to see where we haven't been true to our authentic self. So ultimately, my friends, we are now in a position to understand that changes or endings are necessary for our growth, that we have power to improve these things now. Why? Because the universe is helping us. The Schumann resonance, the solar flares, the planets, everything is on your side. But we are so stubborn that we don't want to let go of our old self. And I don't mean in a negative way that we have to get so critical and depressed and critiquing. We got to move forward and pick what we want. Okay. So the Aries new moons are generally very good for taking action. That's why I'm asking you guys to use my do the hard thing first rule. Try something new, something innovative, going in at it with gusto and confidence and drive. It's time to be assertive and take charge of our lives. Start a brand new project. Discover your own personal strengths, i.e., go and look where you've been avoiding in your chart. Because this eclipse, when it happened, it formed a major aspect to powerful Pluto that I told you moved into Aquarius. So it's suggesting some obstacles that need to be cleared as we wrestle our fears and our ambitions. It also aligned with Jupiter, encouraging resourcefulness and being brave and a good sense of opportunity. Like, I know it's there. Okay. So I'm going to also cover the full moon lunar eclipse tonight. It's happening in a week from now, a week from Friday, not Friday coming up. So you can be prepared for what's coming, as I'm going to be on vacation at the beach next week. So I love you all, but I am not bringing you to the beach with me. So on May 5th, so not this Friday coming up, this week, the last week of April, May 5th is going to be a Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse next Friday. Okay, I'm prepping you because you're all going to feel it. You're feeling it already. Okay. You're going to allow yourself to be swept into this universal greater plan. So if stuff looks scary or overwhelming, or can you believe this? Say, yes, I can. Things need to end, because you have to let go and trust that the universe has this plan. Your higher self is setting you out for these scenarios because it's perfect for you. Control is an illusion. I want to control it, and I know better. It's an illusion. The year's only full moon in Scorpio is a game-changing lunar eclipse. Why do I say that? Because this full moon, okay, so full moon, remember, is in between. Here's Earth, here's the full moon, and here's the sun. Okay, so the Earth is in the middle. It's opposing this shock and awe planet of Uranus. Okay, so this could bring some surprises. Okay, because Scorpio and Pluto rule death and regeneration, in a good way, death, like letting go and starting over. So you might notice things in the world. So this affects the whole planet, right? from power mergers to scandals to sudden transitions. All sorts of secrets will be exposed. Why? Because Pluto is the sign of secrets and darkness, okay? And so it's Pluto rules Scorpio, and Scorpio is going to go into full moon, which is closure, disclosure. So for the best results, be open to channeling, bringing in she was just talking about creative juices, right? So creative and spiritual downloads, trust that. These could send you on a new creative path for stumbling, like even into investment opportunities, because Uranus is in Taurus, which rules money. Okay. So eclipses bring things to like a 10 times, times 10 factor. Okay. So remember to harness Scorpio's investigative powers, right? The Scorpio wants to investigate, look for things, look for the little crack. Like a scorpion, they find the little light, the little crack in the door to get through. That's you. You're going to look for the tiniest bit of opportunity to get through and research anyone that you're getting into bed with, literally and figuratively. Okay. I'm not kidding. Existing partnerships might reach a pivotal point with this month of the eclipse. So either they're going to end, if you were thinking about it or think it's time, they will end. Or if you're thinking about ending the way you've been living and going into a badass power state, it's going to happen. Okay. So, yes, we have a Scorpio saying I'm amazing at that. Yes, she is. So you can see it's going to bring confidence to those who need the power. Last, I'm going to remind you guys again why this old stuff is coming up for all of you, not to hurt you, right? But a lot of times we think we put stuff to bed and we don't. Mercury retrograde is in retrograde till May 15th. So revisit, review, and revise a new approach. Okay. Or clean out your closets or your desk or your car or your garage. Just let go of old energy or your mind. Sometimes we just got to let go. We got to think it through. We got to write it down. We got to process it and go, I need to let that shit go. That's what I've been doing. A lot of stuff having to let it go. Just processing it, not right or wrong. Okay. All right. Everybody right here. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. Your challenge this week, next 2 weeks while I'm gone, make a to-do list and start with the hardest item first. Use the next 2 weeks to declutter things that you've been avoiding, you don't want to do. Focus on the hardest thing first, right? So my question in the Q&A I want to throw at you guys is, who's been having a reality check resistance? Like you're like, I know I have to deal with this or do this, or an emotion's coming up or a person or a place or experience, and you're avoiding it, but you know you have to come to reality. Like the reality is that's happening and I need to clear it. Okay. Go ahead and comment in the comment chat if you want. Let's see. It says, I'm trusting the process, loving and choosing myself first. Good. It has been hard, but rewarding. Everyone else is adjusting as I let go. They are doing fine. At the same time, it's been a powerful shift for me. This is really awesome. Why do I want to share this with all of you? Because what she said is super powerful. They're doing fine. At the same time, she lets go. So see, she's been the one thinking they need to change, and she's the one that's going to adapt this. She's the one that was going to fix them, help them, support them when she needed to just heal her, and they're just fine with or without her helping or assisting, which is pretty cool. We all have to do that. We all have to love everybody where they're at. All right. Let's see. All right, next question says, let's see. Do y'all get where I'm coming at this? Do you all see where you're having a reality check resistance where you know a part of you doesn't want to shift, but you have to? Okay, so this one says, again, this is kind of similar to the thing we've been talking about. Why is it so hard to see our weak spots? I know mine mostly, but I still sidestep. Ooh, that's pretty powerful to see, even know you're doing it. This is like a very fantastic comment. Because it's well said, because we know we're sidestepping ourselves. Isn't that fascinating? She said, oh, I know I sidestep. I'm like, see, we know we're doing it, right? So the simple answer is, how much do you want a different reality than the one you're accepting with your weak spots that are undisciplined? You know what your weak spots are, because that's all it is, undisciplined. Babies aren't good at walking, but they're immune to the speed that it takes to practice daily, right? And then one day they're just running without any care for how long it took them to master walking. They just did. So I urge all of you to listen to this question, to just choose one thing on your hard thing first list and keep at it till it's easy. Keep at it till you can run. Beginner's mindset. That was actually well said. Well, a good question. Next, let's see. All right, it says, I have been attacking things that I've been putting aside for a long time, but it's so damn satisfying. Oh, this is good. And they are hard and challenging, but they are so good to put behind me as I'm waking up early myself, but I'm going back to bed. Well, at least you get to go back to bed. That's awesome. So this is very good. He is acknowledging this is hard for me, but I'm tackling it. And it's so satisfying. This was the confidence builder I was sharing with you. Okay. So this is really, really great. You're all feeling the same thing, but if you understand just tackling it and getting it done, it gives you the satisfaction of like, I got this. It makes you feel complete. So this next one came in, it says, let's see, when the body flares up, when the body flare-ups happen, how do we know it's energy shifting or serious? It's always energy shifting, serious or not. It's always your energy shifting. How do you want the reality you're in to be is my question. Okay, resisting your headache, the headache's telling you to rest, right? Or are you pushing it away and forcing it into submission and then doing something else, which will force it to become something serious? So rest is always an energetic attention, TLC, addressing it as what it's asking for. Do you want to rest when you run down now, or do you want to make that mistake and do something over and over and over until you deplete all your energy resources and then you get really sick? So my answer to this is, how do you know? Because TLC will tell you. When you rest and rest long enough and give it the tension, whether it's a magnesium bath, whether it is, you might need to take some supplement to calm it down. You might need to lay down for an entire afternoon. And I'm just using the headache. Could be anything, stomach, whatever, right? You can be sad or angry or frustrated. Ask it, what is this headache? What is this pain? What is this sadness? What is this irritation doing? What is it there for? What do you need me to do? You're going to get a gut reaction, a gut response immediately. What would lessen this irritation? Ask yourself that. You're going to get the message. Trust it. And I guarantee you most of you are going to get the message you don't like, which is TLC. Rest, take a break. Things that are hard because we have been, as I've discussed for the last 2 years with all of you, on a freaking rat wheel that no one wants to admit to. The reality is we've all been workaholics. And there's nothing wrong with working your booty off and creating and building a healthy life, a healthy, family, healthy relationships. Nothing wrong with that. But we need to slow down and acknowledge your soul and what it needs. So these two people who had commented also on doing things that weren't always easy, you didn't like, but so satisfying. This is the point I'm trying to make tonight, because the planets are going to get you there whether you like it or not. So I highly suggest you guys pick the TLC option instead of the resistance option. Does that make sense? Cool. All right. I am happy to answer any additional questions. We're going to actually be in a little bit early tonight because it was a quick call, because that's what the planets are pushing on you. Reality resistance. a reality check. The reality that shows up for you that you don't like, that's what you're here to deal with. Look at it, review, revise, reset. Period. So detox will probably be your friend right now, whether it's physically, emotionally, energetically, in your physical world. Pay attention to that, okay? Because that's what's going to shift you into the next reality check, that we're moving to a higher ascension. You're looking at all the political storm happening right now, all of the financial storms happening right now, all the emotional storms, people breaking down right now. It's completely, or a dirty martini, someone said would help. Yes, that probably will help too. That'll relax you and help you take a nap, help you sleep. That would knock me out for 3 days, but it probably would love it. So that's the best I can give you on the cleanest level of be prepared for change and be open to it and say, yeah, it's happening. Everything's going away and I am moving forward. I'm going to pick me, pick you, choose you. I promise, like Jamie said, everyone will be fine around you. I promise they'll be fine if you pick you. Remember, guys, I'm on vacation. I will be out of Wi-Fi. So there is no Truth Tribe on May 1st, next Monday. Okay. But remember, May 5th is the full moon on Friday, and I won't be around to the next Monday to remind you of it. So don't forget that full moon in Scorpio is going to shake up a lot of stuff. I absolutely will enjoy. Thank you for the brightest blessings. I love you all. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I will see you when I get back. And you guys have an amazing night, amazing week, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.